So this is a presentation of my opinion, what monsters that should have been added to the Switch game, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Probably for our first pick would be the Carapacian Shangaoran. Well, in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, there will be a carcass of the creature that will actually be seen in one part of the Jurassic Frontier location. But it would be actually amazing if they actually did put this monster into the game so we can have a chance to fight it. I believe so. One YouTuber by the name of Regnilla actually fought against it. I think one good obvious for the herbivore would literally be the Epioff. But for those who don't know, the Epioff are third generation leviathans. I mean not leviathans, herbivores that that can only swim in the because the third generation introduced the underwater combat. But I want to actually see if they could actually tweak these guys into Generations Ultimate by making them landlocked. That would be really amazing. Now the obvious for the bird would be the Great Jaggi. Of of course, even though we have the Jaggi and Jagia, but we need the Great Jaggi because it would because they won't have a pack if they don't have the leader. And I think for obvious reason, this guy will actually be high rank. Another high rank bird wyvern, in my opinion, would be the Quirapeko. For those who don't know, Quirapeko is a third generation bird wyvern that has like an ability to actually call monsters using songs, and it has a ways of it can actually raise its attacks, one that can raise its defense, and one to actually heal itself. And obvious for like the Lepicean wyvern would be the Delex. This monster is technically one of the are creatures that can be inhabiting the deserts. These creatures are super fast and very annoying, including if you're facing off against really big monsters. Now, for obvious for the Leviathans would be Abyssal Lagiacrus. I really wish if they actually tweaked him and see him more landlocked, it would be amazing to actually see this monster in the game, in my opinion. And next up will be Goble. One of the monsters that I mostly despise because of that lure on the top of his head. Sometimes this monster was really annoying on both land and in water. And for the flying wyvern would be the Monoplos. I mean, it would be amazing if they actually did put this guy into Generations Ultimate. Now for another rare species would be the Molten Tigrex. It would be amazing to actually receive this guy into Generations Ultimate, because I actually love to fight him in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, especially with the blast attacks. And next up would be the Lucid Nargacuga. This guy would have been an amazing addition to Generations Ultimate, especially for that invisibility design in its body. Now for other dragons would be the first choice would be Dalameter. It would be actually amazing to actually see this guy in Generations Ultimate, especially for how big he is, and mostly he's based off of Python from Greek mythology. Next up would be the Darren Moran, a fourth generation Elder Dragon that can actually go to swim through sand. It would be actually impressive to actually re-see this guy in the game as a G rank. Crimson Firelord Vitalis. For those who don't know, back in 4 Ultimate, you have a chance of finding a much more powerful demonic version of Crimson Vitalis. I would like to call the Crimson Firelord. For those who don't know, this G rank monster is capable of commanding fire, and most of his body is like superheat. Next up would literally be my favorite of choice, Gogmazios. I just really love the fight and the design of this creature, especially for his ability to shoot that huge laser that that's literally super explosive, and yeah, there's no way for you to avoid it. Now for one good variant would be the Rustic Kushala Deora. This kind of Elder Dragon was really unique because technically it had its own unique battle theme in 4 Ultimate, where you gotta face a battle damage one with a cut on its head during the end game uh, of the story mode in 4 Ultimate. And last but not least, my personal pick would be the Lunastra. I mean, I'm actually happy that World Ally got Lunastra into the game, but I would like to see her fight in Generations Ultimate, as well as the fact that this creature commands the blue flame, whereas the male Teostra commands the red flame. It would actually be unique to actually see see this monster in the game.